Good afternoon, basketball fans. We're here for another game in the 9th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. It is between the league leader San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and Mono Vampire Basketball Club at GSB Stadium 29 in Nonthaburi, Thailand. What a matchup we have for you today. It is a rematch of the ABL Finals from the previous season. As you see there on the standings, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with 15 wins and 3 losses. Mono Vampire, on the other hand, 5 wins and 13 losses. Both teams on different sides of the table, but have been surging in these past few games. My name is TK. I am the anchor of the game today. By my side is analyst Marco Benitez. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, TK. And it's always great to be here in still, I believe, one of the best venues we have here in the ASEAN Basketball League. And as you mentioned, 2 teams on opposite sides of the standings, but Mono Vampire with a revamped roster pretty much, looking to surge and try to get to the top 8 of the standings before the end of the regular season.
And we have a great crowd here in Thailand, Thai fans and also Filipino fans based in Thailand, as both teams getting ready to introduce their lineups.
First, number 24, Romeo Travis. Number 77, Shishai Ananti. Number 7, Michael Sigatari. Number 65, Tirawajan Tajan. Number 69, Narongpan Apiro Wilashai. Number 0, Tyler Lam. Number 33, Nopon Sangtong. Number 79, Chittapon Towe. Number 1, Malcolm White. Number 11, Morset Morgan. Number 22, Frederick Jones. And number 13, Shanashon Glahan. And coach, Mr. Marty Douglas. And now grab your hand for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Woo!
That was the introduction for the Mono Vampire coming into this game. An interesting note is that Romeo Travis will not be starting this game. It was a game time decision with knee injuries, citing for the decision to not start him here. What do you think about that move by the Mono Vampire?
Well, if that holds true and he's not able to play this entire ball game, that's going to be definitely a big factor here, because we were expecting Romeo Travis to be matched up against Ronaldo Bogman, who is one of the best imports in the ABL. But so far, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas on a tear after that loss against Hong Kong. They defeated the Wolf Warriors 108-81, had 8 triples in the second quarter alone. Kalen Tiongson was one of the stars in that game, as well as Bobby Ray Parks, who had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and shot 60% from the field. You know, since Bobby Ray Parks came back from that nose injury, he's been averaging close to 20 points per game, but his regular season average so far right now at about 15 points per outing.
And that's why he's the back-to-back local MVP, looking for a 3rd straight. Here is another key player, Brandon Rosser. He made a lot out of his 24 minutes on the floor, as you see there on the screen. 16 points on an efficient 6 and 11 from the field. What do you think about his recent performance?
Well, I think
Marco?
Brandon Rosser has been one of the key additions here for Coach Jimmy Alapag. Yeah, gives him the luxury of playing him against an import. He's athletic enough to defend an import. He can score. He's always capable of delivering a highlight reel, especially in the open court. And he's a young player, so you know that he still has a lot more room to improve and a lot more room to grow.
And as you see here on the screen, the previous game for the Mono Vampire against CLS Knights in Indonesia, it was an entertaining game, went all the way to overtime. But in the end, the Mono Vampires suffered a loss, their first in 4 games ever since the addition of Romeo Travis to the lineup.
I know it's always a tough challenge whenever you play in Gorkert, Tajaya. The conditions there not as ideal as probably here in Mono 29 Stadium, but again, that game reached overtime, and it was the CLS Knights that really came through. Notable players here for Mono Vampire, the key additions. Of course, they let go of Jason Brickman. Freddie Lish has been a suitable replacement. Of course, Tyler Lamb, former Asian Heritage Import MVP. He has been racking up the points. He's always capable of scoring 20 a game. He's averaging about 16 points per game here for the home squad.
Yeah, so a lot of firepower from the Mono Vampire. And this is the guy that has been doing a lot of the scoring, Mike Singletary. As you see, there are 29 points in his previous game.
Most consistent scorer here for Mono Vampire. He's their leading scorer, averaging about 26 points per game, shooting close to 40% from long distance. And expect him to be matched up against Kalen Tiongson. Kalen Tiongson, we've seen in past games, has been the primary defender against the wing imports of opposing teams. But of course, Mike Singletary, always capable of lighting it up. In their last matchup against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, scored heavily, even despite the defense of Alab Pilipinas.
As you see here, the key matchup, Romeo Travis, Ronaldo Balkman, two very strong imports highlighted for both teams.
And I'm still hopeful, TK, that we'll get to see these two players match up. Two leaders on the floor, two very vocal leaders. As Romeo Travis excelled during his stint in the PBA, had a 50-point game. He's very vocal. We saw him during the warm-ups really talking to his teammates. And Ronaldo Balkman, no stranger to that leadership role here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, as you see the starting five for the visiting team.
So nothing out of the ordinary for the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Bobby Ray Parks, Kalen Johnson coming off two very good games, as you mentioned earlier. Ethan Ovano at the point guard. And the two imports, Ronaldo Balkman and PJ Ramos, manning the paint for Coach Jimmy Alapak in this game. Again, 15-3 is the record of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas going against the Mono Vampire, who are sticking to their usual starting five, aside from the change of Romeo Travis to Nopon Sangtong. That will add some width in the paint.
And you can be sure that San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will immediately recognize that mismatch and try to go to Balkman attacking Saintong. So the concern here for Coach Douglas Marty, I would think, is that how do you keep Malcolm White away from foul trouble if he has to defend the post against PJ Ramos as well as Ronaldo Balkman?
Yes, sir. And also some interesting movement for Mono Vampire before the game. I think Coach Douglas Marty might have preferred to start Tirawat Chandachon, but a collision during their warm-up led Tirawat Chandachon to be slightly cut in the eyebrow, leaving him to start off the game off the bench.
We saw him, his head was heavily taped during those player introductions, so hopefully he will still be able to play, because he has been a key guy off the bench for Mono Vampire in the past 2 years.
He had a really good game against the CLS Knights last Sunday, and Mono Vampire fans are obviously hoping that he can continue these strong performances after a slow start to the season. There you can see the Mono Vampire faithful starting to pack up the stadium. Mono Vampire in orange in this game. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in blue jerseys. Not their usual colors, but nonetheless, that'll be who they will be sporting today.
And the last matchup between these two teams was back on January 20. Earlier this year, Mono Vampire still did not have Tyler Lamb and Romeo Travis, but despite that, was actually leading throughout the first half. It was a surge in the third quarter and the fourth quarter where Alab was able to force overtime and really overpowered Mono Vampire in that overtime period. But now with this revamped or reupholstered lineup, including Tyler Lamb and Freddie Lish, as well as Romeo Travis, who might be coming off the bench, we'll see. Definitely Mono Vampire will probably be a tougher matchup here against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
And Mono Vampire start the game with the ball. Tyler Lamb will be manning the guard spot for now.
Familiar matchup between Tyler Lamb and Bobby Ray Parks, even during Tyler Lamb's days with Hong Kong Eastern.
Ethan Ovano pushes the pace, gets it to Balkman. He has the mismatch there. We'll see they can take advantage of that. And the steal by Sang Tong.
That's good defense there from Sang Tong, although Bachman probably lost the handle on that basketball.
And that there is a matchup that is going to be entertaining all night. Ray Parks against Tyler Lamb.
And I would look for Tyler Lamb to try to be aggressive, attacking that basket, force Bobby Ray to really play or exert effort on the defensive end as Bachman gets his first bucket of the game.
Quick reply by Alab Pilipinas, and Freddy Lish brings up the ball. He has Alvano on him.
I would also look for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to put a little more pressure on the guards of Mono Vampire. Of course, without Jason Brickman, point guard spot not as deep for this home team.
Both teams starting off a little sloppy. Turnovers and inerrant passes. PJ Ramos, though, unable to hit his opening shot.
And we have to note PJ Ramos had served a suspension because of accumulating 5 technical fouls. And the rule is for every additional technical foul that he's going to get from this point onwards, it's going to merit another suspension. So that is also a point of concern for the Alab Pilipinas squad.
And he has got to watch out going up against Malcolm White, a very physical presence on the other side for Mono Vampire.
Somebody who won't back down from physicality and from contact.
Freddy Lish, though, slices in, unable to finish on the layup. Alab Pilipinas gets a chance to take their first lead of the game here in this possession. Ray Parks setting up the offense. He has Tyler Lamb on him as well. Gets Ramos down at the free throw line. Nice pass down low to Alvano. Out to Chongson for 3. And unable to make his first attempt from downtown.
You get the sense that it's just a matter of time before Kalen Chongson finds his rhythm once again. This guy lit it up in that game against Wolf Warriors. Had about 4 triples in that game.
Tyler Lamb there unable to finish inside. Alab Pilipinas in transition from downtown. Kalen Chongson for 3.
Much improved 3-point stroke from Kalen Chongson, and because of his output the last game, he has definitely gotten the confidence to knock it down from that distance.
Mono Vampire will get the ball back. Malcolm White up at the free throw range. Mike Singletary drives in. He draws another foul. We will see if that is Kalen Chongson's second foul, and that could be a huge hit to Alab Pilipinas for such a guy who has been instrumental on both sides of the floor for the team.
And I like the mindset of Singletary, knowing that the Kalen Chongson is a very capable defender, immediately aggressively attacks him, forces the contact, forces the referee to make the call.
So that is Chongson's first personal foul. He and Ray Parks have collected 1 each early in this game. But that is a tough matchup for Kalen Chongson going up against a scorer like Mike Singletary.
Singletary, regardless of the defender, has the capability to light it up. Had 36 points, was 4 of 10 from long distance, and 9 of 22 for 40% in their last matchup against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
And Ray Parks answers with a tough lefty layup on the other end.
So Bobby Ray says, if you're forcing me to defend on my end of the floor, I'm forcing you to defend on your end of the floor as well.
Freddy Lish going inside, kicking it back out, gets to the corner. We'll have to set it back up again. Gets a screen, kicks it to Sang Tong. He has that one, and he makes it.
And that's going to make Ronaldo Bachman think twice about hanging back against Sang Tong.
But on the defensive side, he commits a foul on Ronaldo Bachman. That is something that Alab Pilipinas will be going at all day.
And one thing Alab has shown us this season is that they're so good on the quick attack off a basket of the opposing team. They're always so good to try to exploit the defense.
Here, a turnover. PJ Ramos unable to control the pass in from Ray Parks. Nice job by Malcolm White on defending the post.
That was a careless turnover there, as Ramos was already thinking about the move he was going to make before he actually had a handle on the basketball.
And Freddy Lish and Tyler Lamb handing the majority of the ball early in this game. Gets it to Malcolm White for the mid-range shot. He has that touch.
He's shown us that he is consistent from about 18 or 17 feet and below as Malcolm White. So that's going to force PJ Ramos to step out a little more.
So a tight game here. Both teams trading shots back and forth. Ethan Ovano, Freddy Lish on him. Kicks it to Ray Parks. Gets the foul on Tyler Lamb. Nice pump fake there by Ray Parks, and that just shows how much respect he gets from his shooting.
Ray Parks averaging about 39% from downtown. That's the reason why Tyler Lamb is forced to come out and challenge that stroke from Bobby Ray.
And Tyler Lamb has got to watch out on these fouls. He has been hampered with foul troubles in the past games, limiting his minutes and his efficiency on offense, something that Douglas Marty has got to manage as well. Parks splits his free throws. And the Mono Vampire will bring up the ball. Once again, Tyler Lamb doing a lot of the guard duties. Freddie Lish will be playing off the ball a bit more. Gets it to Singletary in the corner. He still has Chongson on him. Drives down the baseline. Good discipline by Kalen Chongson to keep his ends up. Not committing the foul.
You see Kalen Chongson sacrificing his body there. That was a hard bump coming from Mike Singletary. You see Kalen Johnson still holding on to his rib area.
Tyler Lamb off balance jumper, unable to go down. Ethan Ovano pushing the pace once again. Takes it straight to the hole and a little bit wide. Mono Vampire goes right back, and Freddie Lish sees PJ Ramos and thinks again about that attempt. And he gets it to Singletary, who drops the three.
That is the beauty of having Mike Singletary in your lineup, always locked and loaded to shoot.
So Alab unable to get that transition defense figured out. Ovano gets it to Balkman. He tries it from downtown, and they're just trading three-point shots right now.
And that is something that Bachman has really improved on this season, coming from last year. His three-point stroke is averaging about 36% from that distance.
Lish dribbles and shoots. Does not go down. Ramos will slow the pace down a bit.
That's one thing that Mono Vampire has to avoid in their last game against ASEAN Pilipinas, as well as their last game against the CLS Knights. They have that tendency sometimes to fall in love with that three-point shot.
And the Mono Vampire will call a timeout, it seems, after Nopon Sangtong collects his second personal foul. We'll be back after the timeout break. So as we come out of the TV timeout, the score is still tied at 11. Both teams have been shooting highly from the floor, 50% for the Mono Vampires, 57% for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. The visitors will inbound the ball.
And you know, one thing Mono Vampire has done well is they've been able to keep in step with the rebounding of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, just a one rebound difference in favor of Ala. That is one of the keys to the game, being able to get their fair share of rebounds, because as we know, Ala, #1 team in terms of rebounding, as PJ Ramos shows us the ability to put the ball on the floor and finish with that soft layup.
He is a big man, but he can move pretty nimbly as well there, showing the up and under.
And with Malcolm White, as you see that hand to the face or to the forehead of PJ Ramos, that's gonna sting. but showing Malcolm White that he can definitely put the ball on the floor and take it strong to the hoop.
When you're that big, it's a big target, easy to hit. Doesn't complete the three-point play, however, and Mono Vampire will get the ball back. Freddie Lish bringing it back up. Ethan Ovano pressuring almost full court. Gets it to Sangtong, hit a three earlier. Singletary also hit a three earlier. He has Domingo on him now. Drives strong to the paint and gets the layup.
This is what we talked about, the luxury of Coach Jimmy Alapag. Outside of Kalen Tiongson, he can put Lawrence Domingo, and then after Domingo, he can put Brandon Rosser. So expect Singletary to see 2 or 3 more defenders.
Once again there, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas goes straight to Ramos in the middle, and they get another 2 points off of his passing.
That's the favorite move of Lawrence Domingo as Freddie Lish banks it high off the glass.
It's high-octane offense from both teams. We're still tied at 15 points. The defense of both teams still need to pick up. Ovano goes to Ramos. The three-point shot does not go down.
And if I'm Malcolm White, that's the shot I'm giving up to PJ Ramos this entire afternoon, as that's going to be another turnover as the pass was a little too strong for Singletary.
Again, a little sloppy from both teams, trying to push the pace against each other. We have
3 turnovers for Mono Vampire, while San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has 2 turnovers to their name.
And now we're going to see Chandachon make his way into the game for Sangtong, which is not a good sign for the Mono Vampire with Romeo Travis still on the bench.
Doesn't look like they're going to exert or going to force Romeo Travis to play in this game.
Ramos can't hit the small floater. Singletary brings it up. He breaks it down, and the three does not go down. Ramos with a baseball pass. Unable to get Lawrence Domingo so close, though, and we've seen that connect so many times.
Just a little too much juice, but that is the PJ Ramos specialty of the house, that quarterback pass, almost 90 feet.
That is such a luxury to have your big man be able to just get the rebound, initiate the offense for a quick 2 points on the other end.
Just a couple of steps too late was Lawrence Domingo.
Lish still unable to get his first 2 points. Ronaldo Balkman driving it up. Another turnover by Alab Pilipinas. Freddie Lish kicks it back to Mike Singletary, and he floats it in.
Mono Vampire showing that they're very capable of playing at this type of pace. They go tit for tat with San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Great pass there by Ray Parks. Ronaldo Balkman, no one there to stop him.
Miscommunication on defense there as Bobby Ray finding his import. 5 assists in the game right now for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. 3 for Mono Vampire.
Lish gets the ball at the top of the key. Gets a screen from White. Kicks it back White. He has that range as he showed earlier. Doesn't make it this time. Another Balkman pushing it back up. He's gonna get back out. Set it back to Joshua Eberstado, who just made his first appearance in the game. Nice pass down to PJ Ramos. Great finish by the big man.
One of the toughest challenges defending San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is that pretty much everybody on the floor is capable of making that pinpoint pass, as we see a nice or nifty assist coming from Urbistondo.
Singletary hits Chandachon. Nice fake. He gets it. And another long pass. Ray Parks gets fouled after the reception. Good recovery by Derongpan to come back down, but unable to get a clean shot at defending Parks.
There you see they're getting Bobby Ray on his left forearm. Good call by the referee. So you see the turnover on that previous possession with Lawrence Domingo will not deter PJ Ramos from making that baseball outlet pass.
Both teams going very deep into their lineups in this first quarter.
Papa Havelona forming this 2-point guard backcourt with Urbistondo. Rosser is also on the floor.
Great defense there by Mono Vampire as they get out in transition again. Mike Singletary goes all the way. Unable to put in the layup. Alab answers, and Ronaldo Balkman gets the and one. He's on the floor right now.
You know, that's a useless foul on the part of Chichay Anati. If you're not going to challenge the shot, you might as well force him to get two from the free throw line rather than take a careless swipe. And Bachman has enough strength to really finish strong.
It might have contacted Bachman in the face area a bit, but he's back up.
Knowing Ronaldo Bachman, that's just going to get him more intense and more pumped up.
That's the 7th point in the game for Ronaldo Bachman, who leads Alab Pilipinas.
Mike Singletary has 8 points for the home squad.
So Bachman will attempt his first free throw of the game. And he sinks it down too. He has missed only one field goal so far, with one three-pointer as well.
And just to show you the stat line that Bachman gives, about 26 points per game, about 10 rebounds, also about 5 assists per contest.
San Miguel Pilipinas on the run again, and Bachman does not wait for anyone to foul him this time, throws it down on the fast break.
He's always one of the best at running the floor in transition. Ronaldo Bachman now in double figures.
The Vampire, draws a foul on Herbistondo. Good recognition to drive into the paint. Gets a foul off San Miguel Pilipinas. Slows down the game a little bit.
Well, if you're Mono Vampire, you just have to try to find whatever advantage you can against this very loaded San Miguel Pilipinas squad. So if it means attacking Herbistondo off the dribble just to create or force the defense to collapse and create openings for your teammates, then so be it if you're Mono Vampire.
Shot clock winding down to 6 seconds. Lamb has Domingo on him, goes down the paint and gets another foul. Bailed out by the whistle.
Late challenge there, late help on the part of Roster. That's why he did not have good inside position or legal guarding position.
So Mono Vampire will get the final 6.1 seconds in the quarter. Tyler Lamb inbounds the ball, gets it to White. Tried to dunk it in, but Ronaldo Balkman with a clean foul will send White to the line for 2 free throws.
That's a matchup Malcolm White can exploit inside the paint. I would say he has the strength advantage against Ronaldo Bachman, although Bachman, the reigning defensive import of the year, has probably longer wingspan, has quicker arms, but pound for pound, Malcolm White might have the advantage, so he really has to take it strong against Bachman.
He has to do that a lot more. Mono Vampire have to limit the depth of Alab Pilipinas a bit. He hits his first free throw. And makes the second one as well. Alab Pilipinas will have a final say with the 4.8 seconds left in the quarter. And the clock runs out without an attempt. The first quarter comes to an end. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas up 24-19. It's been a high-octane first interval. We'll be back after the break for more action in the ASEAN Basketball League Season 9 Rise to Greatness. We're back for the start of the second quarter between the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the home team, Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Alab misses their first attempt of the second quarter. That has been something that has been rare. They have shot 60% from the field. Highly efficient scoring. And there we see it again, a layup by Lawrence Domingo on the other end.
I know that's the first point off a turnover for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Mono Vampire so far has done a good job limiting those points off turnovers for the opposing team. But that's going to be another careless pass so that they were able to get it back.
And Malcolm White drives straight into Lawrence Domingo. He sees the size its advantage and just takes advantage of it.
One thing that Mono Vampire has also done well is limit the offensive rebounds. Actually, they've prevented Alab from getting any offensive rebounds in that first quarter, so 0 second chance points for either team. And we talked about how rebounding is going to be an important factor here for the home squad against the #1 rebounding team in the league.
But one thing that Alab has done well, as you were mentioning earlier before the broadcast, they have 8 assists off the 11 field goals in this earlier this game. Of course, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas leads the league in assists. One of their strengths.
This is a lineup you do not see as often. You have Rosser, Domingo, together with the 2-point guards and Ronaldo Bogman. So this is a small lineup for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, which they're going to try to exploit.
Ballman to Urbistano. He has that range, unable to drop it down, but nice hustle by Rosser. He gets fouled by Sang Tong.
The thing about this lineup is that they are quick at the wings and even at the front line whenever you have Rosser and Lawrence Domingo playing the 4 and the 3 or interchangeably, and Bachman at the 5. But PJ Ramos makes his way back in the game, replacing Ronaldo Bachman.
Just the depth of a San Miguel Alab Pilipinas just gives Coach Jimmy Alabang the ability to be able to test out these new lineups, see what works, see what sticks, and prepare them for a deep playoff run. Of course, right now, Alab Pilipinas is the only team so far to secure a playoff berth.
So far still undefeated at home. One losses having come away as Lawrence Domingo drops to the ground in that rebounding sequence against Saintong.
Thailand though gets White in the middle of the paint, and he drops that one. Soft touch by White.
Well, Malcolm White has shown that he has that ability to finish softly within 10 feet. 7 points right now for Malcolm White.
Rosser on the wing. Gets it to Domingo. Aristondo gets it back on the other side. Drops it down to Ramos. Spins towards the paint. And Malcolm White just has to stop him. The foul. Ramos will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And if you're Alab Pilipinas, this is one thing you really have to do a lot more. Attack Malcolm White in the paint using PJ Ramos. You know that PJ Ramos has the size and the strength advantage. So if you're able to put Malcolm White into foul trouble here in the first half, that might change the complexion of the game here.
However, that is White's only first personal foul of the game. Good job so far of keeping himself free of that limitation.
And I remember TK when during their encounter in Santa Rosa last January, it was when White fouled out. I think it was late in regulation where things really started to change and Alab really took the upper hand.
Surely that was one of the biggest changing points of the game, but the teams have changed so far. Last time, Tyler Lamb was not on the lineup. He's been handling the point guard duties so far in this game, trying to break it down. Sets up White again, and another easy 2 points. for Malcolm White down low.
And again, that's a nice connection between Tyler Lamb. And because Tyler Lamb is such a prolific scorer, PJ Ramos has to think twice whether to help out on the penetration or to drop down and defend against Malcolm White.
Elizondo gets it down to Ramos once again. He looks for his options. White is on him. Nice drop pass by PJ Ramos to Lawrence Domingo.
Yeah, that is one of the facets of PJ Ramos' game that you cannot give enough credit. That passing ability in traffic.
Such a great passer. Tyler Lamb answers with a three-point attempt. Not able to bring it down. Elizondo will set up the offense and give it to Pau Havilona. He has Ananti on him. Gets it to Domingo. And now they go back to PJ Ramos to initiate the offense. Tries to drop it down. Domingo gets blocked by Malcolm White. And a smart rebound there by Apiron Vilachai. Draws another foul.
That's a veteran move on Apiron Vilachai. Once he got the basketball, make sure to put his body in between him and the ball, or in between Domingo and the basketball, to draw the second personal foul on Lawrence Domingo.
And coming in for him is Kalen Johnson, who also has 2 fouls himself. Those are 2 defensive stoppers for Jimmy Alapak that he will have to watch carefully.
Chicha Ananti on the floor has yet to make an impact on the offensive end.
Lamb with the crossover for the 3, unable to bring it down. That would have brought the roof off. Havilona. Again, Ramos thinks about the 3 for a second. Gets it to Elizondo. Drives down the paint. Off balance layup, and Ramos with the easy recycle.
PJ Ramos just manhandling everybody down low. Yes, as you mentioned, he has to be a little careful in terms of the physicality, not to get a technical foul. But without another guy supporting Malcolm White, since Romeo Travis is on the bench, he can definitely flex his muscle against Chichay Ananti and Saintong.
Marvelous game so far by PJ Ramos. That's a missed free throw and an air ball. The crowd is letting him hear it. But nonetheless, he has 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists early in this game. And Alab Pilipinas up by 8 in the second quarter. Malcolm White giving him a slight smirk.
PJ Ramos' expression has not changed a single bit. Still that poker face. That poker face on the floor.
It barely does. Nice set play by Mono Vampire. Goes inside for the right-handed layup.
Nice penetration off the elevator screen, taking advantage of his quickness against Elizondo, who was chasing him.
Ramos throws it to Kalen Johnson in the post, tries to bang down. Havilona drives by. Nice fake. Unable to finish. Mono Vampire on the run. Tyler Lamb gets swiped by Brandon Rosser from behind. Miguel Alab Pilipinas has the numbers. Rosser drives down. Great defense by both teams right now. Non-stop action. Kicks it to Lamb from the corner. 3 and the foul.
That's a bad foul there on the part of Paulo Havilona. Swinging momentum to the side of Mono Vampire, forcing Coach Jimmy Alapag to send Bobby Ray Parks back into the fray.
And that one gets the crowd going. They needed this one.
And here's that block coming from Saintong, proving worthy on the defensive end. There's Paulo Havilona clipping the right arm of Tyler Lamb.
So Tyler Lamb will go to the line for an attempt at adding 1 more point. He has been pretty quiet so far. Only 5 points, make that 6. But the Mono Vampire are back to within 2 points.
That was a 4-point swing off the miss or off the block, and then a 4-point play coming from Tyler Lamb.
Ray Parks back on the floor, so is Ethan Ovano. He drives down the baseline. Nice pass to Ray Parks, and he puts it in.
It's a nice play run there by his son Miguel Alab Pilipinas, a nice floppy play, and then Bobby Ray Parks cutting from the weak side baseline.
Able to quiet down the crowd. Malcolm White unable to get that over PJ Ramos. Ovano pushes the speed again. Hung in the air and Sang Tong will get called for a foul. He doesn't believe it.
And there you see the athleticism of Albano trying to get it on the opposite side of the rim. But I don't know. Sang Tong might have a case there.
Albano, the youngest player on an experienced San Miguel Alab Pilipinas squad.
And we talk about the trust that Coach Jimmy Alapag has given to Ethan Albano, giving him pretty much the reins or the keys to the offense of Alab.
He misses both free throws, however.
Albano still scoreless in this game.
Tyler Lim bringing the ball up once again, has the horns screen set up for him. Gets a screen by Macau White, kicks it back to Anante. Sang Tong shakes. Back to Anante in the corner. He attempts a three. It rattles out.
That was well challenged there on the part of Kevin Pyeongson.
He will get Anante back down in the post. Great deflection, and it ends up with a turnover. Freddie Lish, a little too flashy. San Miguel Alpino will get the ball right back. Kalen Chongson looking for his options. Albano drives, hangs, misses.
Just a little out of control there was Ethan Albano. Great challenge on the part of Freddie Lish.
Both teams just going into these back spurts. Sang Tong pulls up a three. Misses completely, but Malcolm White collects the rebound. Bobby Ray Parks fouls from behind on Malcolm White. That'll be his first personal foul. And we have a media timeout. Alab Pilipinas up by 4. We'll be back in a bit. We're back for the final 4 minutes of the first half here at GSB Stadium 29. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 9 Rise to Greatness between the Mono Vampire Basketball Club and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Freddie Lish drives, and again, still unable to make those layups. Gets shaken off by Albano, goes to the corner. Kalen Johnson doesn't take it. They'll set up the offense again. Ramos.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it is the first sign of action for Moses Morgan.
And he does a good job defending Ronaldo Balkman on his first defensive possession.
Alab immediately trying to exploit that matchup.
And they go down on the other end. Freddie Lish has Balkman on him. It's a screen by Malcolm White. Kicks it back out to Singletary, who returns to the game, attempts a three, and knocks it down.
Fourth triple of the game for the Mono Vampire squad, and this is the reason why they're just down by 1 point. Only 2 3-pointers for Alab. That's going to be a foul on Moses Morgan.
Morgan trying to stop Ronaldo Balkman from posting up on him, but that is such a difficult task.
And because PJ Ramos is such an adept 3-point shooter, defense of Malcolm White cannot cheat and really drop down fully to help out on Bachman.
So Bachman will go to the line as Mono Vampire have maxed out their foul limits for this quarter.
Miguel Alab has missed a lot of free throws, currently 4 out of 12. So that's a measly 30%.
So despite shooting 50% from the floor, they have been struggling at the charity stripe and continue to do so. Mono Vampire get a chance at the lead, down by 1. 3 minutes left in the first half. Freddie Lish kicks it back out. Moses Morgan, his first attempt of the game, and he missed it. Ray Parks tries to go the full length. It's another turnover by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, already their 7th of the first half.
And Alab sometimes falling in love with that long outlet pass, as there were 2 orange shirts back down. So even if Bachman actually fielded the pass, would have been well challenged by Mono Vampire.
Ropan gets swiped by Bobby Ray Parks, making up for his earlier mistake. Alvano drive, gets it blocked by Moses Morgan. He has been showing his presence on defense.
Moses Morgan, not really known as a great defender past few seasons, but back-to-back plays defending Ronaldo Bachman, and then that time stuffing that layup attempt by Ethan Alvano.
So once again, we're back. It's the game between the Mono Vampire Basketball Club and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first half. Alab still up by 1 point, 34-33. They will be inbounding the ball. On the floor for Alab is Ray Parks, Balkman, Ramos, Alvano, and Chongson. The Roban tries to draw a foul there. Nice pass down low to Balkman. Easy layup.
And you know, that's the first basket of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in my count since the last 3 minutes or so. So prior to that, Mono Vampire had done a great job defending the visiting team.
It was previously a 9-2 run by Mono Vampire before the basket by Balkman there.
And a little ill-advised there on the part of Freddie Leach. Nobody else touching that basketball on that sequence.
Alvano gets the ball to Ramos. He has White on him. Kalen Johnson wide open for 3, unable to hit it. Moses Morgan collects the rebound. He'll bring the ball up by himself. Doesn't see a streaking White. The Rongpan drive down low inside. Misses the layup. Alab running again. Nice pass. This time it connects. And Balkman gets the easy layup. Already with 14 points in the game.
That's almost unforgivable there. That's multiple times that Balkman has gotten ahead of the defense of Mono Vampire.
That will be a timeout by the Mono Vampire. They will talk this out as they fall down by 5 points with 1:30 left in the first half. lively crowd here in Nonthaburi, Thailand. We're here at GSB Stadium 29. A rematch of last season's finals between Mono Vampire and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. It's been entertaining so far. Alab has gone out to a 4-0 run, a mini run, as the Vampire were closing in.
Well, it's been more of a defensive second quarter as both teams have only managed 14 points apiece. Give a lot of credit to the defense that Mono Vampire has played against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but Alab Pilipinas leading in terms of the points in the paint category with 28 as compared to 16 for Mono, while in terms of fast break points, it's a 12-5 advantage for Alab.
Singletary unable to hit that despite shaking the defense off. He has shied down a bit in the second quarter after a strong first. Ray Parks from the wing. Gets Ramos at the top of the key. The three-pointer unable to drill it down. Eddie Lish with 1 minute left in the first half. Dances around, goes to the corner. Goes back to Moses Morgan at the top. White trying to post it down. The right hook doesn't fall down.
That's back-to-back times that PJ Ramos has done well to challenge that floater of Malcolm White.
And Alvano trying to set it up. He gets Ramos down on the baseline. Trying to back down White. He gets the double team. Nice kick pass to Ray Parks. Unable to drop the three, and there will be a foul called on the rebound. It is on. We'll see who it is.
Looks like they're going to give it on Malcolm White.
White can't believe it. We'll see it here again.
Referee not buying the action of Malcolm White, so giving him the foul instead.
Malcolm White can't believe it. That is his second personal foul. Sends PJ Ramos to the line for 2 more free throws. And as we mentioned earlier, that is an area where San Miguel Pilipinas has not been doing well so far.
PJ Ramos is 2 out of 4 from the stripe with 8 points. So Bogman is the only player for Alab that has reached double figures.
And the struggles continue from the charity stripe for the visiting San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Total of 4 out of 14 right now.
Is it possibly the distraction of the crowd behind that baseline?
I can't think of another reason as he misses another one. As Alab normally a respectable free throw shooting team.
But nonetheless, they get the offensive board, and Malcolm White, the late.
And that's going to be third personal. So that's a critical development here. So 2 quick fouls from Malcolm White in the span of a minute.
And that was a risky attempt at defending PJ Ramos. And as you mentioned earlier, that's his third personal foul. A huge development.
And you know, sometimes you just have to recognize the bigger picture of the game. You might as well have given up the 2 points, but keep yourself in the game for a lot longer as compared to try to challenge it. Have a high risk or high possibility or probability of picking up your third personal foul and then still send Ramos to the free throw line.
Nonetheless, Ramos misses his 3rd straight free throw attempt and 4th. So Alab comes out empty-handed in those possessions. 10 seconds left. Moses Morgan for 3, misses. Ramos with the rebound. They will have 5 seconds for a final attempt. Balkman goes for the layup, and it goes down. That looked pretty good on screen. We'll see what the refs call.
It looks like it should count. And again, another nice connection between PJ Ramos and Ronaldo Balkman. Good clock management between the 2 world imports.
And if that counts, it'll be 40-33 for Alab Pilipinas against the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. It has been a close affair between both teams before a late run by Alab to make it a 7-point lead. We will be back after the halftime break as you see the score, as you see the leaders here. Michael Singletary with 11 points, Ronaldo Balkman with 16, Malcolm White with 6 rebounds, PJ Ramos
Life under the sea is better than anything they got up there.
ญทั้ง4ท่านนะคะกลางสนามเช่นเคยเลยนะคะพร้อมกับน้องหยกระดาพรค่ะก็จะมามอบของรางวัลปลอบใจนะคะจากธนาคารออมสินนะคะให้ทั้ง4ท่านไปเลยเอาเลยค่ะเสร็จแล้วขยับไปเลยนะคะน้องเสื้อดำขยับมาด้านนี้ลูกyeahเพื่อนบอกว่าเสร็จแล้วขอดมมือด้วยนะเมื่อกี้ใช่ไหม รู้นะว่าคิด เอาละค่ะและนี่ค่ะก็เป็นทั้ง4ท่านผู้โชคดีนะคะที่ได้รับไม่ต้องขยับมาแล้วลูกอยู่ตรงนั้นแหละรับของรางวัลปลอบใจนะคะจาก GSB ธนาคารออมสินค่ะดูแลคุณมากกว่าใครนะคะและต้องขอบคุณอีกครั้งนะคะสำหรับธนาคารออมสินผู้สนับสนุนของรางวัลดีๆแบบนี้นะคะและที่ขาดไม่ได้ค่ะอีกหนึ่งท่านนะคะที่ได้มามอบของรางวัลให้กับเรานะคะน้องหยกระดาพรนะคะนักแสดงนางแบบสุดเซ็กซี่ผู้ชนะการประกวดนะคะ FHM 2017นะคะและน้องๆโมโนแวมไพร์เกิร์ลส์ค่ะส่วนตอนนี้ค่ะพวกเรานะคะทุกคนต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนและต้องคืนสนามนะคะให้กับนักกีฬาทั้ง2ทีมได้ลงมาทำการวอร์มอัพกันต่อและเดี๋ยวอีกสักครู่ไปชมเกมการแข่งขันกันต่อในควอเตอร์ที่3ค่ะและตอนนี้ค่ะบอกมือบ๊ายบายให้กล้องหน่อย Let's say goodbye เย้
So we're back for the second half of the game between the Mono Vampire and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 9. My name is Satyatam TK Kolsambun, and analyzing the game with me is Marco Benitez. Can you break down the first half for us a bit?
Well, it was a low-scoring second quarter in particular where San Miguel Alab Pilipinas took a lead. One of their biggest leads of the game at 7 points. I think one of the turning points will be the third personal foul against Malcolm White. I expect San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to really try to exploit that advantage of PJ Ramos in the post. Both teams not really able to score heavily, as San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is only 4 out of 17 from the line, but Ronaldo Bachman starts us off here in the third quarter with his 20th point of the game. Only player in double figures for Alab.
And that continues to be an 8-0 run by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, building up a 9-point lead. They get the defensive stop, and PJ Ramos passes that straight to Chanachon Glahan's head, who makes his first appearance in the game.
It was going for Ronaldo Bachman, but Chanachon Glahan got in the way. Malcolm White hits another 10-footer. Well, let's see if he tries to exploit his quickness advantage. And he can hit that short-range jumper against PJ Ramos if Ramos will continue to give him that shot.
White started the half with a miss, and a make there to get Mono Vampire their first points of the second half. Lawrence Domingo attacking straight at Singletary, unable to finish, and Tyler Lamb gets the rebound.
Still no sign of Romeo Travis, who does not look to still check into this game, who probably won't check into this game in this second half.
Great pass by Bobby Ray Parks, and another one to get Ronaldo Bachman out in the fast break chance.
And this is one of the areas where Alab has really taken the advantage. 16 or maybe 18 fast break points compared to just 5 for Mono Vampire. No second chance points for Mono Vampire, as Alab has limited them to just 1 offensive rebound the entire first half.
PJ Ramos enters with a 3, doesn't make it this time. Lamb with another rebound, and will start the offense for the Mono Vampire. Gets a screen from White, trying to shake off Bobby Ray Parks, who's been playing spectacular defense on him all night.
That's another turnover for Mono Vampire. You know, you get the sense that Alab is just waiting for a big play to get the momentum and try to really break this game wide open.
And Alab, even as they throw the ball away, Mono Vampire unable to exclamate on that opportunity.
And if you're Mono Vampire, you want to be more aggressive here, especially on the offensive end of the floor. You can't allow San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to get freebies by just settling for outside shots.
Lawrence Domingo misses his chance, and Freddie Lish unable to answer. Ramos gets Bachman on the break again. He goes straight at White. Gets the 2 points. Smart defensive play there by Malcolm White, not picking up his 4th personal foul. And the Mono Vampires were forced to call a timeout early in the third quarter. The first 6 points of the second half, all coming on fast break attempts for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, already with 20 in the game in total. That has been a big advantage for Alab in this game.
And you know, if you're Mono Vampire, that's pretty much inexcusable, as Ronaldo Bachman probably has about 10 points coming off the fast break, and that just speaks lowly about your transition defense whenever the 4 guy of the opposing team is the one finishing on the break.
They will need to handle their turnovers as well. Michael Singletary getting the ball. He has Domingo back on defense. Unable to drill the 3, and that is something that he has missed as well.
And that's another outside shot for Mono Vampire, and another rebound corralled by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. You get the sense that Alab is just ready to break this game wide open.
Balkman has a smaller Glahan on him, kicks it back, and gets it back again from Parks. Balkman with a step back 2. Alvano, nice strong rebound, and they get the extra possession. PJ Ramos kicks it back out to Parks. Nice feed down low. Ramos with a big slam.
And because of the 3 personal fouls on Malcolm White, he can barely challenge that dunk attempt by PJ Ramos. Another pair of unanswered points for Alab.
Just gotta love the vision by Bobby Ray Parks. So his 4th assist already in this game. All around line for the back-to-back local MVP. And that is something that the Mono Vampire will need. A 3-pointer from Chanachon Glahan, who's come off the bench
One
in
of
this
the
half.
most unexpected sources of the 3-point shot is Chanachon Glahan.
But Ramos will go back to Balkman, who has Glahan on defense. Goes down inside and rolls it in. Balkman wants the call, but will go back on defense.
And I don't think Glahan can defend Balkman one-on-one, especially within 10 feet.
White knocks that mid-range shot. PJ Ramos immediately turns to the bench to apologize. White has hit a couple of those in this game already.
That's like the 4th 10-footer that PJ Ramos has allowed Malcolm White to take unchallenged.
Parks throws it down to Ramos. Fakes a pass. Nice shoulder drop there. Lawrence Domingo mistimed the rebound, and Mono Vampire get it back. Lamb for 3. Misses. Lamb will take the ball again, trying to shake off Domingo here. He's still played in the league for quite a while already. Gets a screen from White. Pulls up another 3. Unable to find his range. Tyler Lamb only with 6 points in the game so far. Balkman, awkward looking layup. White tried to tip that to Freddie Lish. It's another turnover. Alvano goes straight down. Domingo, easy bucket down low.
And how about the hustle there of Ethan Alvano? Another pair of second chance points. So hustle points going the way of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and Lawrence Domingo, recognizing the foul situation of Malcolm White, just attacks his body.
Nice pass there by Freddie Lish to a streaking Glahan. Draws the foul on Ethan Alvano. But going back to Lawrence Domingo, he's played in the league for 3 seasons already, and he's just one of the most hardworking, energetic players you have ever seen in this league.
And you know, he has already recognized and accepted the role that he plays here in San Miguel Alab Pilipinas as not really to try to do a lot of things spectacularly, but just plays his role, cuts from the weak side, you know, gets those offensive rebounds, attacks the basket hard whenever he has the opportunity to, and plays excellent defense on his assignment.
Chayananthi back on the floor. He has Rosser on him. Off-step jumper. And he fouls on the other end as well. So back-to-back mishaps by Ananthi.
And there you see the length of Brandon Rosser, already giving Ananthi enough space, but still able to deflect that shot on the pull-up by Ananthi.
Just the length of Rosser there. Stepping back a little bit, but also able to get a swat on that shot. Ramos down in the paint once again against White, trying to back him down. Nice fake, up and under. And that'll be a call. Seems to be on Michael Singletary.
And again, you can use Rosser and Lawrence Domingo pretty much interchangeably because of the hustle that they put into the game. So the referees are going to make a correction, and I think that's the correct call. So ball is going to go the way of Mono Vampire.
To the delight of the crowd here. Again, we have a great crowd here at GSB Stadium 29 in Nonthaburi, Thailand. Alab Pilipinas putting on some pressure here. Bobby Ray Parks getting his turn against Michael Singletary.
Singletary has so far been quiet here in the third quarter.
Herbistondo now on Ananthi, drives, wild pass. And we'll see what the call is. That was a bit off screen. The refs will talk about it for a bit.
I think the baseline referee is going to call it off of PJ Ramos, or they're going to talk about it. And they're hearing it from the home crowd.
That's what you expect from a rivalry between these two teams, Mono Vampire, Alab Pilipinas. A rematch of the finals, as we were saying in the entire broadcast. They had a great 5-game series. They had an overtime game in this season already. Hoping for another close game tonight. Michael Singletary has Balkman on him for the 3. Misses. Ramos with another board. That's his 17th of the game already.
That's another outside shot for the home squad.
Rosser with a wild drive, but able to kick it out to Herbistondo, who kicks it out to Ramos. Shakes it. Herbistondo, quick fire, and the fireball drops a 3.
And you know, that's such a luxury there. Whenever you have a point guard who is always locked and loaded, what a quick release there for Josh Herbistondo, bailing them out on that possession. 15-point advantage now for Alab.
Mono Vampire tries to answer with a slam from Malcolm White, but gets fouled. He will get 2 attempts at the line.
And I like how it wasn't a token foul there on the part of Bobby Ray Parks, but really forces Malcolm White to miss that dunk attempt and forces him to earn it from the free throw stripe.
Good recognition though by Singletary to attack aggressively after Alab has been starting to pull away. The Mono Vampire need to keep within shooting range, especially with the depleted lineup with Romeo Travis still on the sideline.
And you know, that by my count, that was the first attempt of Mono Vampire inside the paint here in the third quarter.
Malcolm White hits both attempts. Bobby Ray Parks has the wrong punt on him. He'll get warned for the flop there. Ramos gets it down on the block. White has to watch out. Rolls it in, soft touch by Ramos.
That's just too big, too strong there for PJ Ramos, and Malcolm White cannot really engage him physically too much because he has 3 personal fouls.
Singletary gets the open shot and he makes it.
Third triple of the game here for Mike Singletary, and much needed basket for the home squad.
He was 5 for 5 against CLS Knights in the loss. And there we see the battle down low with Ramos and White. Kick out to Parks. And it's an offensive foul called on Brandon Rosser.
And Apiro Vilaichai is still one of the best at selling calls whenever he's not getting warned for a flop.
It's a give or take for Apiro Vilaichai. This time he gets the foul on Brandon Rosser. That is Rosser's 2nd personal foul. Singletary brings the ball up the court. He has Parks hounding him ferociously.
I like how Alab is putting pressure on the ball handler because Singletary is not really a natural point guard.
And it pays off with 2 more fast break points for Alab Pilipinas. It's back to a 14-point lead.
22 points on fast breaks for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas compared to just 5 for Mono Vampire. That has been the big difference in this game.
Nanti strolling the perimeter. He gets open. Unable to make it. Gets his own rebound though. Tries a pass to White. And Apiro Vilaichai gets a taste of his own medicine as Bobby Ray Parks draws a foul on him as it goes up.
Yep, that's going to be off another turnover. So after Mono Vampire makes a bit of a run here, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas again creates some separation, now up again by 14.
Coach Douglas Marty bringing in some size. Tiro Wachantajon. Herbistondo will inbound the ball. Park still has Apiro Vilaichai on him. Malcolm White will take a breather for Mono Vampire. Balkman. Hounded by Sangtong. Drives. kicks it to Ervistondo somehow, drives the line, gets it back to Balkman for three, and he sinks it down.
And how about the patience there of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas? Another basket coming off an assist. That's assist number 20 for Alab.
It's a great game all around of sharing the basketball. One of the key points for Alab in this game. Romy Laichai to Sang Tong, hit one of those earlier, drives instead, and will get the foul. It should be on J.R. Alabanza, who makes his first appearance in the game.
That's because the left hand or the left arm of Alabanza was down, got caught in the arms of Sang Tong, but had his arms been up and vertical, probably would have been a no call from the referee as Bobby Ray Parks heads back to the bench after solid minutes here in the third quarter.
Sang Tong clangs his first free throw attempt. So far he has 3 points, making one of his 2 attempts in the game, 2 rebounds.
Has played already 16 or 15 minutes in this ball game, as Tiro Chantachon has not really seen a lot of action because of that injury suffered during the warm-ups.
The last final seconds of the third quarter, Alab Pilipinas bringing the ball up with a 17-point lead. Nice pass down low. J.R. Alabanza turns the ball over on a traveling violation. Jimmy Alaba giving some minutes to his lesser-used bench players like Alabanza.
Jimmy Alaba telling him that he has to be ready to receive that basketball, either to pass it off to the corner when the defense collapses, or take a strong dribble, power dribble, and attack the hoop.
10 seconds left in the quarter. Singletary looking for a screen. You get it, and he pull up for a three, and he knocks it down. And that will be how the quarter ends, heading into the final 10 minutes. Alab Pilipinas up by 14 points, 62-48. We will be back after the break for the final session.
Oh, ready? The 10 for the third quarter, 0.2 seconds. เหลือเสี้ยววินะคะ 0.2 วินาทีนะคะ
So actually we're back for another 0.2 seconds of the quarter. Just a bit of a time difference.
I don't know if that's even enough for a catch and shoot. Probably an alley-oop to the rim.
Singletary gets to the wrong pond, and the shot clock runs out. The clock runs out for the third quarter, and we're finally officially headed for the break. There will be 10 more minutes of action left in the game between Mono Vampire Basketball Club and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. We'll be back in a bit. And we are back for the final 10 minutes of the game. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 9 Rise to Greatness between Mono Vampire Basketball Club and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. This is Sasatom TK Kosumbun along with Marco Benitez analyzing the game.
And the third quarter, TK, another low-scoring quarter for Mono Vampire. They were limited by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to just 15 points, but Ananti starts out the scoring here in the fourth quarter. It's only the 7th fast break point of Mono Vampire. Right now, the Vampire are in a zone defense.
Balkman tries to pound it down, but Domingo with a nice offensive board. Registrando takes a pass out. He gets handled by Sangtong. The ball goes back, and it still stays with Alab Pilipinas, but a great effort by Mono Vampire, and the shot clock expires, it seems.
Looks like they're going to give them 1 second left on the shot clock.
So that's just Mono Vampire will have to just hang in for a little bit more, touch and shoot. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas still hustling for those offensive boards. 14 more seconds on this offensive possession. Balkman down low, misses it again. Alab Pilipinas unable to punish Mono Vampire on that possession. Chitapontoros for 3, misses.
And again, that's another outside shot for Mono Vampire. And whenever you have the 2 energy bunnies in Brandon Rosser and Lawrence Domingo, you can count on them crashing the boards. But PJ Ramos is going to check back into the game.
It was an interesting decision by Coach Douglas Martin to start the fourth quarter without a world import before substituting Malcolm White in here.
You get the sense, TK, that unless Mono Vampire makes a serious run here in the next couple of minutes, Alab is just going to cruise to victory here.
That's what they're trying to do earlier with forcing a turnover and the fast break. Havilona gets his pass deflected. The ball will stay with Alab with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Quick hands there from Chichay Ananti, one of the most capable wing defenders here for Mono Vampire.
You were mentioning during the break that Mono Vampire only had 48 points in the first 3 quarters. They averaged 88.7 per game. Just says a lot about the defensive effort that San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has done in this game.
I remember how last season they were always known as one of the highest scoring teams. Another 3-point attempt. No second chance opportunities for Mono Vampire.
Parks kicks it to Havilona for 3. And he sinks it down.
Just such a strong weapon when you have Havilona and Urbistondo on opposite sides or on opposite wings.
Tyler Lamb cannot answer, and once again another miss from downtown. He is 1 for 6 from that range in this game. Another aspect of the game that the Mono Vampires have missed.
Field goal percentage continuing to drop here for Mono Vampire. 7 of 22 right now from downtown.
Avilona kicks it down to Domingo in the post. Nice right hook, and PJ Ramos tips it back in.
PJ Ramos just flexing his muscle inside the paint.
The lead balloons to 17 once again for Alab, and Mono Vampire forced to call another timeout. you see there on the screen, the two main men for Mono Vampire and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Michael Singletary with 17 points and Ronaldo Balkman a blistering 29 from the field.
Really dominating the scoring here is Ronaldo Balkman, and what you like about Balkman's output is a lot of those coming on the fast break. So those were easy layups or easy dunks from Balkman.
He's been doing work on the defensive side as well. 4 steals to go along with 5 rebounds.
And Alab is plus 15 right now on the glass, 46-31.
Malcolm White gets it in the mid-range area. He'll get into his shooting form and knock down another jumper.
You see how much space PJ Ramos is giving Malcolm White. So good of Malcolm White to really try to exploit that.
White now has 17 points. Avalona fakes a shot, goes into the mid-range jumper and knocks it down again.
That's just a cool player, cool customer there. Here's Paulo Avalona, always knowing what to do whenever he has possession. Nice up fake, one dribble pull-up from the baseline.
Mono Vampire still unable to figure out how to defend Alab Pilipinas tonight. Malcolm White goes straight to the paint. Kicks it out to Toroj. Still unable to connect from downtown. Then we'll set it up back again. Gets a screen. He goes mid-range this time and he finally connects.
Now Mono Vampire has to make a stop on this end, otherwise they're going to just trade baskets against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Getting up in the zone, PJ Ramos kicks out to Avalona. Can he hit again? Yes, he can.
Just token defense on the wing as Paulo Avalona starting to heat up. Remember, this guy, one of the big sparks off the bench, especially last season when Orbistondo fell into injury.
8 points already in the quarter alone for Avalona. Malcolm White gets a foul on the other end. It's on Bobby Ray Parks, it seems. That would be his 3rd personal foul.
Paulo Avalona averaging just about 5 points per game, but 36% from downtown. So he and Orbistondo, if given enough space, will really light it up.
Singletary misses the mid-range jumper on the inbound play. Aristondo bringing it up, gets Ramos down low, and another sledgehammer by Ramos.
And because the defense is now focused on defending the perimeter, that's just a wide open lane for PJ Ramos. Another nice find, another assist for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
16 points, 18 rebounds, and 6 assists for the big man. Tyler Lamb, though, hits a floater on the other end. That should be his 10th point of the game.
Mono Vampire not putting any pressure on the backcourt, as Orbistondo is just going to walk or jog this ball up.
Still a big 18-point lead for Alab Pilipinas. Mono Vampire have got to do it on the defensive end. Orbistondo wide open. Misses the 3. But the ball will go out. Lawrence Domingo trying to protest the call.
And look at the effort there from Lawrence Domingo. Despite the big margin, still scrapping for every loose ball. That's just the attitude you want your big men to have if you're Coach Jimmy Alapag.
And that's something that you feel Mono Vampire have been missing tonight.
Yeah.
The urgency to get those loose balls and rebounds.
Well, if you're talking about what they're missing, Romeo Travis, in his 4 games with them, he's averaging 16 points, 13 rebounds a game. So that's just, those are just big shoes to fill, which so far they have not been able to.
Another difficult attempt by White there. Kicking in and out, Alab Pilipinas. Ramos for 3. Misses. Ray Parks will tap the ball out. And Mono Vampire still within 18 points with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
But every possession of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they're milking the shot clock, making their attempt almost always with less than 12 seconds remaining on the clock.
Looks like Coach Douglas Marty could be resting his imports already. Malcolm White hit it to the bench. Tyler Lamb brings the ball up. He has 10 points so far in this game, along with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. Adding 3 more to that total with a 3. Can that spark something for the Mono Vampire?
Hopefully that will get some momentum going for the home squad. They're going to have to make a stop here.
Ramos gets stolen by Lamb. Forward pass by Thoroch. Lamb for 3. Misses that. That would have brought more momentum to his team, and now they're on the wrong end of a fast break.
And Orbistondo could have probably had an alley-oop to Lourdes Domingo, but instead settles it back out.
And they burn some more time. Nice pass by Domingo. A little too low for Ramos. Lahan.
And PJ Ramos has to be careful. He has more to lose in this altercation.
Lahan not backing down from the big man though.
Remember, PJ Ramos has already been suspended because of accumulating 5 technical fouls. Each additional technical will mean another suspension.
Seems like nothing worthy of such a call there. Just a foul on Lahan.
And if you're Coach Jimmy Alapag, you may want to think about pulling PJ Ramos already out of this game, as you're up by a significant margin.
Sorry, the earlier call was a jump ball, and it's a possession of Mono Vampire. Tyler Lam getting hounded by Ray Parks there, as he's been all night. Moses Morgan coming into the game, and he loses the ball. Avilona almost loses the possession.
Look at the pressure put up by the 2 point guards of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, Orbistondo and Paulo Javilona. And you know, that is a sign of a champion team. Regardless of the lead, regardless of the time left on the clock, the amount of effort they put on the floor, still consistent.
Their mantra this season for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is defend the crown. They have done a good job to impress that they will be able to do that. 15 wins and 3 losses so far this season. A 15-point lead right now. PJ Ramos gets stolen by Glahan. Gets it back out. Toros dribbles on his foot. Glahan.
That's going to be a backcourt or 8-second backcourt violation.
Again, nice pressure by Alab Pilipinas. Despite being up by 15 points, still putting the effort on that end.
I expect Coach Jimmy Alapag, after this time, I'll probably just save 1 or 2 possessions before pulling out PJ Ramos.
We're heading into the final moments of the game. Once again, Alab Pilipinas up by 15 points. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 9 Rise to Greatness. 74-59.
And you saw the stat line of PJ Ramos. 16 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists for the big man.
The shot clock winding down. Ronaldo Balkman unable to add more points to his tally. Both imports still on the floor for Alab Pilipinas. None for Mono Vampire in the stretch. Moses Morgan loses the ball once again. Josh Urbistondo has the numbers. Throws it up. Difficult pass to Balkman, but he still collects his own miss. Another 2 points. That'll be 31 for Balkman. A big, big game for the big man.
Chris Rivero getting ready to check in now for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Most likely for either Balkman or PJ Ramos. As what a tremendous defensive effort here for the visiting team. They've limited the Vampire to just 59 points in almost 38 minutes of play.
And there, Josh Urbistando getting high fives from his team. He's not been his usual shooting self, only 1 of 6 from the floor, but his defensive effort has been spectacular. There's just Morgan airballs the mid-range shot, and once again, Alab Pilipinas on the run. Bobby Ray Parks will smartly pull back out. There will be 2 minutes left in the game. Alab Pilipinas up by 17 points. And they will burn the clock. PJ Ramos backing down, gets the double team. Nice pass, Bobby Ray Parks. Easy layup, and that has just been what is going on all night for Alab. The passing, the cutting, there's a little bit of everything on the offensive end. So in the final 2 minutes of the game between San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and Mono Vampire Basketball Club, it seems like they will be able to hold on to this 19-point lead. What do Mono Vampire have to take away from this game, Marco?
Well, I think they have to realize the value or the importance of having a complete lineup, especially against the defending champions. And the other thing is they know that they are a good perimeter scoring team, so they really have to set up their shooters, but at the same time they also have to realize that whenever they cannot connect from the outside, they have to have an equally strong aggressive effort going to the basket, because what happened this afternoon is they kept settling for outside shots, were not able to get second chance opportunities, while on the flip side, Alab Pilipinas just dominating inside the paint. 52 points in the paint, 22 fast break points, and all around stellar effort for the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
John with a nice strong attack, unable to knock it down. As you were speaking, the perimeter offense, Tidal Lamb and Freddie Lish combining for only 15 points on the night. 2 for 10 from downtown. It's not the production you want from your 2 starting guards.
After that, I remember that layup, the sole layup of Freddie Lish happened in that first quarter. After that, was quiet all throughout.
Moses Morgan with the rebound. Trying to gain some confidence for the locals here for the Mono Vampire. And unable to hit a 3 still. They are 8 for 26 for the entire night. It's not one of those good shooting nights for the Mono Vampire.
And you know what makes Alab such a formidable team? Not only is there the talent of their imports, or the talent of their locals offensively, but is that they're such a versatile, such a deep team on the defensive end. You have guys like Alvano, Bobby Ray Parks playing defense on the perimeter, and then off the bench, you have Paolo Javelona, you have Urbistondo, even Tomas Torres, who can play solid backcourt defense. And then not even talking about the guys defending the front line. You have Lawrence Domingo, of course Balkman, and then even Brandon Rosser. So just stacked on almost every position is Alab Pilipinas.
You haven't even mentioned Kalen Johnson,
who's
seeing limited minutes tonight. He is also a great defender as well. Again, another miss by the Mono Vampire. They just seem so deflated by not having Romeo Travis in this game.
And that's the value of a Romeo Travis. Not only is he a contributor, a significant contributor in terms of the stat line, but he's such a vocal and prolific leader for them.
And you can understand that, though, in the past 4 games of having Travis in the roster, they won 3 straight before that unfortunate loss last week. It should be their 2nd straight, as Mono Vampire miss another 3-point attempt.
And you know, the road does not get any easier for Mono Vampire after this game against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They will be playing Westports, the team that they are trying to chase for the 8th and final playoff spot. And then after that, they play Hong Kong Eastern, the Saigon Heat, and then the Macau Black Bears. So schedule definitely becoming more challenging, while for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they will also play Macau, Singapore, Macau again, and then the Formosa Dreamers for their next 4 games.
So a lot of homework to do for the Mono Vampire here as they take in their second loss, one of the lowest scoring games for them this season, 78-59. The win by the visiting San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. A big game by Ronaldo Balkman, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals, and of course the man there, PJ Ramos, 16 points, 19 rebounds, and 7 assists. You break down the game a little bit for us, Marco.
Well, we talk about the assist numbers, sharing the basketball as one of the keys, 25 assists, accounting for 34 field goal attempts. You see the game leaders, Tyler Lamb had 8 rebounds, PJ Ramos, almost a 20 rebound game for him, 7 assists as well for PJ Ramos. Lamb had 6, Malcolm White had 17, and 31 points for Ronaldo Balkman. But the all-around defensive effort for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they had limited Mono Vampire to less than 20 points in every quarter of this game. And if you're able to do that against one of the top scoring teams in Mono Vampire, you're definitely en route for a victory.
For sure, and without Romeo Travis in this game, Mono Vampire had Singletary and White with both 17 apiece. Singletary, of course, knocking down 4 triples, but that was just not enough to get things going for the Mono Vampire in this game. Once again, Alab Pilipinas with the win, 78-59, improves their record to 16-3. Mono Vampire, on the other hand, drops to 5 and 14. They still stand at 9th in the standings in their chase for the playoff spot. As you see here, the moments of the game. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas just scorching from all over on the floor, and the defensive effort by the entire team.
What was funny, TK, is that Alab did not take any more free throws almost the entire second half, as their 3-point shooting was enough and their fast break baskets were enough to get them this victory.
Once again, we are here at GSB Stadium 29. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas collects the win over the Mono Vampire. This is Sazitam TK Closumbun closing out with Marco Benitez analyzing the game. We hope you had a wonderful time. Tune back in for the ASEAN Basketball League action in Season 9, Rise to Greatness. We'll have plenty more action in the games to come.